I always feel like I'm like right in the camera, like my breasts are all in people's camera. And then hey everybody. Sorry, I'm coming. I'm just trying to I am always good. Okay, wait, that's the right one. Okay. I don't know how. Listen to me. You guys just logged on and people are requesting to go live. If I don't know you, we are not going live. Ah, my goodness me. The pie cup, the PI cup, I'm good. Greetings and welcome to everyone that's on here. Kiki Damn Shame Podcast, what's going on, my darling? I don't know who is trying. Why is somebody always trying to call me or message me while I'm going live? I just don't, I don't get it at all. Welcome to Wet Wednesdays. I am your host, AJ Badass Jones. I was thinking about going live from the other page, but I don't know. This page was always the more comfortable page, so you know. King Heffs, hello, hello, hello. How do I request you? Oh, this, I'm so bad at this. God, geez, you would think that I would get better at this, but, oh, there we go. Okay. Is that right? King Heffs needs the, oops. I don't think you can join me. You have to update. Excuse me. King Heffs, it's saying that I need you to update your, John Peters, thank you very much. I don't know why I'm choking all of a sudden. King Heffs, I tried to go live with you. I tried to send the request, but it's telling me that it needs you to update, just like to update to the latest version of Instagram for, I don't know. That's what it's telling me. So I can't request you as yet. Oh my goodness me. Hello, 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 hello. Greetings, everyone. I'm in jeans today. I'm in shorts today because it was beautiful outside. And I don't know. I just kind of took ambition and felt like I was going to wear shorts and be one of those people. Bahatiar, or whatever your name is, I am not going live with anyone. I don't know. I've already been traumatized. Y'all peoples are crazy because you want to like show your penis on my live and all these things. And honestly, I'm not able. So, waiting for King Heffs to come tonight. We are talking about the importance of Dom Aftercare, and we are also talking about pushing your pain boundaries and ways in which that can help you in your everyday life, in terms of like focus, balance, anxiety, whatever it is. So I hope that everyone is well. Just waiting for King Heffs to, excuse me, log back on. In the meantime, hello to everyone who has joined in. For anyone who has come and gone. S. Marie. Oh, hi, darling. Mr. Noir Haven, let me wave at some of y'all. So tonight my guest is King Heffs. We're going to be talking about Dom Aftercare, the importance of Dom Aftercare. We're also going to be talking about pushing pain boundaries and the ways that which it can help you on your day-to-day life. Hi, Elijah. Haven't seen you in a very long time. So the live is going to be on here, not on the podcast page. Yeah, it's going to be on here tonight. I was on the podcast page, but I don't know. Like, I guess I need to figure out a comfortable transition going from here to the podcast page. So for tonight, oh, you have the updated version. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. And I don't know, maybe we'll bring somebody on. Apparently you have the ability now to go live with, you know, up to 2 people, I think it is. So, okay, so I gotta change this up because my hair is cut off. I always feel like I'm all boobs in the picture. There. Is that better? Did you say wow?
Yes, all the breast.
Oh, I know. Girl. Sorry. I'm trying to, You just need to sit back. Is that good?
Yes,
Hold on. Are you in the car?
I am. I am. I'm. So that's why I'm in the car driving, so I can pay attention and answer the questions and still watch the road.
Okay. Just please ensure that you're going to be safe. Like,
Oh, yeah, no doubt, I am safe.
okay. Greetings and good evening, King Heffs, Daddy Heffs, because it's Wednesday. Can you
Hello,
hear me?
hello. I can. Good evening to you as well.
How was your? I don't know. I know that you had something previous to do, so is everything all right? There's a bit of feedback in the.
I
It
don't know.
might be
Is
because
it,
you're on Bluetooth.
maybe so.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Uh,
regardless, we'll make it work.
sorry.
So this is our follow-up conversation. I know that we were going to be talking about the orgasm control, orgasm denial, the conversation that we started 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to switch tracks and talk about something different. Since we
Hmm.
always talk about aftercare for the person who's on the receiving end of the intensity, the person who's on the receiving end of the sessions, we generally talk about that. But you had mentioned, I'm trying to remember where I seen it, but you had mentioned the importance of aftercare for a dom. So I
Yes.
wanted to start off by asking you to explain to everyone what exactly is dom aftercare, and then if you can talk about the importance of it, and then I have some questions to get into with you.
All right. So basically, it's just like the submissive aftercare, right? Except for the
Mhm.
dom. The dom needs the ability to be able to decompress as well. Instead of just trying to do it on your own. You see what I'm saying? Like you have, it's important to have somebody who you can go to as a dom. This is just in my opinion. Who you could just be like, you know what? Maybe I need a hug, or maybe I need my hands massaged, or something like that, right? Just some type of care after the fact where you can like just be brought back to a place of normalcy.
Okay. So does the submissive or the person that you're doing a session with, are they the one that is expected to provide aftercare to you, or is this a completely separate person?
Um, Really, it's a completely separate person because the thing
Uh-huh.
is that with the submissive who you're having a placing with, a session with, um, their aftercare is important, right? So I'm not saying that submissives aren't there to give aftercare, right? However, when they're in their state of getting aftercare, they really need that part.
Right.
I don't feel that they should be expected to give the dom aftercare afterwards, right? Um, but it's hold on.
Oh, you're buffering. It might be because you're moving around. So, uh,
Back. All right, so the thing I
okay.
was saying is
Okay.
like it's always good to have that person who you can go to and who's at your disposal ahead of time. Like set that up, say, listen, whether they're in the same city or when you get back to your home place or whatever, you say, listen, I had an incredible session. It was very intense, but I'm still feeling a way where I'm way up here. I need to be
Right.
brought back down because a lot of times we can go like days or weeks and still be in a space where we haven't got the kind of care we need in order to bring us back to a state of balance.
Okay. And it's a strange thing for me because, like, in my mind, I'm always thinking that, and not necessarily like in a dom sub relationship, but
Mm-hmm.
just like if you're thinking of an average everyday relationship where the man is the hierarchy in the relationship because that's what's been
Mm-hmm.
agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
It's never occurred to me that the dom would need aftercare because it's a position of power and because you've
Mm-hmm.
accepted that rite of passage to be in the
Mm-hmm.
position of power. It
Mm-hmm.
almost seems strange to me, like no disrespect, but it seems strange to me that a dom would need, yeah, like aftercare to come, and not because it, not in any sort of way to try to dehumanize him
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
her, but because, yeah, because the position that you've accepted is a position of power. I'm having difficulty, I guess for me personally, difficulty understanding what you would need to come down from. Isn't the
Okay,
point of it like the high?
okay, so listen. All right, so yes, the high is great, but understand this. BDSM, whether you're doing impact play or whatever, you're doing energy work essentially, right? So you're
Right.
taking on the energy, all the traumas, all the things of the submissive, of the bottom, everything that they've been going through, they're giving it all to you, right? So you're getting this energetic shift of a proverbial boulder or a proverbial planet on your shoulders and chest, energetically, right? And
Right.
vibrationally. So how you could like what after a while, once that builds up, like you don't know what that, even though you're like, oh man, I'm in the person of power, like I could deal with it. Well, after a while, that dealing with it energetically, you keep receiving all this you're receiving all of it. What is your outlet of getting it out? Like,
Right.
like, what are you doing? Are you going to get a massage? Are you going to get your feet done? Like, it has to be some kind of self-care where you're like, yo, I need to be able to come down, or even recognize the fact. And the one thing that I've learned in times of dealing with a lot of my loves and a lot of people I know who are really into tantra, and people who do like cuddle parties and stuff like that, about how important it is to be able to touch and feel and release. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
why not? Even though you're the dom and you're this place of power, like, you still need to release too. Like, sometimes you need a motherfucker hug, right? Like, sometimes you may need a hug. Like, be like, oh no, but like, yo, let me just hug, and I'm gonna hug you for a long time. I'm the dom. You don't understand why. Sometimes you need someone there who can be of service of you in order for you to come back down, right?
Okay,
And
that's fair.
and in that moment, you're not giving up power. What you're doing is you're maintaining your fucking sanity, and energetically you're maintaining that. Otherwise, that shit will build up and it's going to manifest into something else, and you don't understand where the shit is coming from. Well, it's coming from if you are doing play scenes with 10 people, and you don't really know what energy those people bring. You know a little bit about what they bring, right? But then all of that is on you. Like, all that shit is on you. So it's like, oh damn, what's going on? You like energy, you tired, you like, I don't know, for days, so for maybe a couple of days, or some people a week or 2 weeks afterwards, you feel like you really can't sleep good, like you feel like your energy level is low. And that's because you don't have because you don't see yourself with an outlet to be able to, for someone else to be able to get that off of you, right?
Okay. So, sorry, I've missed some of the questions in the chat. I don't know how to like scroll back up without fucking up the chat. But the Birdman 10 asked, where can we go to learn more about Tantra? Okay, so sometimes it's difficult to scroll up in the chats, especially when the conversation is rolling. So there's a little question box at the bottom, the little bubble with the question mark in it. If you have a question for myself or a question for King Heff, please put the question there so we know that it's there, and that way we don't miss it and we can include it in the discussion. So then my other question is in regards to Dom Aftercare. So the person that, not necessarily the person that you personally go to, but a Dom who selects a person to be their person for Aftercare, what would be a reasonable explanation to give that person if they're not entirely familiar with your lifestyle and what it is that you do?
Well, first and foremost, if you have someone who's going to be providing you aftercare as a dom, you've already had this discussion with them about what it is you do, and why exactly you need this. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just, they're like, why you need it? You be like, oh, I just been feeling sort of uptight. Like, no, listen, I'm a dom, and this is what I do. I'm having these private sessions or these play scenes, and I really I really need to just be brought back down, and then they're going to understand. Like, so you have people who are there for that. You know what I mean? Like, say if you, like I said, say if you're doing impact play, and what will really make you feel great is for someone to massage your hands. That's where, regardless if you go somewhere pay to get a foot massage, pay to get a hand massage, or you have someone that's there for you, personally, who is there to be like, listen, I just need my hands massaged. Like, and then from there through the hand massage, it's able to like relax and decompress and go a little harder. You know what I mean? And so when you're done, like, you're like, oh shit, I feel like a brand new motherfucker.
So I don't know if you can provide that information. Hey, Nick, someone had asked where they can go to learn more about Tantra, whether it's a website, a book. Do you have any sort of suggestions? Is there anyone online or on social media that you're familiar with that that you can steer them towards tantric learning?
Sure. You can look up. Basically, just have them DM me, and it's a few people who I can turn them on to, right?
Okay, so Birdman 10, if you want to DM King Heffs, he can point you in the direction of where you can get some information about tantric study or learning more about Tantra.
Like they're two good people I know right offhand. You have Debbie Ward Erickson. She created the Tantra Institute. You also have Amina Patterson. She has her own Tantra Institute as well. So these people are, really, really well versed in Tantra and teach this. And, so really, realistically, I know of 10 people who are either they're Tantra masters or Tantrikas. 10.
Okay.
And I know I have 10 people in my network that I could call right now that are the real truth, right? And one of my good associates, Master Yao Morris, he is a Tantra master, published Tantra author. He's incredible.
So just for the sake of argument and for the purposes of this immediate discussion, can you just explain a little bit about what Tantra is for people who are joining the conversation or people who are in the conversation and may not know or understand what Tantra is or Tantra practices?
Okay, so Tantra, a lot of times people hear Tantra and they think Tantra is all about sex. Well, sex is a part of it, right? But it's not the whole thing. Tantra is basically, it's like a whole life system. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really great for transferring energy, like hitting little points where you may be touched or everything is based off. It's kind of like Reiki a little bit, but a little bit more intense. So that's really like the layman's, like the quick book version of Tantra.
Right.
I suggest y'all really Google it, look it up, because everyone has different things, but Tantra really can help balance you energetically, like hit different, they do a lot of work with the chakras and stuff like that, and work around and move energy around to help heal you.
Right. So the majority of Tantra or tantric sex isn't necessarily the focus on sex. It's the focus on the exchange of energy.
Yes.
And the balance of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had one of your submissives want to provide aftercare for you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How does that work? How do you deal with the exchange of power between, getting her to a certain level or whatever, achieving the goal that, she set forth, and then helping her come down from the high of that? How do you balance that in terms of getting what you need from her, but making sure that she's okay as well?
Well, see, for me, all right, so this is something that we negotiate ahead of time. This is in the negotiation part, right? Like I don't do any additions. If we didn't negotiate it, it ain't happening. You know what I mean?
I think we're buffering again. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay, so
I think we're buffering.
Basically,
okay, you're back. You're okay.
So basically, it's for me. It's in the negotiations. Like nothing. I don't do any kind of edits afterwards, during, before. Everything is negotiated front. So if the negotiated part of the submissive, if they're like, listen, Daddy Heff, I would really like to provide you aftercare. Tell me what it is that you would like and what you would need, right? Like, it's about being very specific about what it is you need, right? So, you know what I mean? It's in the same question I asked. I'm like, oh shit. Well, like me, like I'm not, if there's someone who can help me come back down and heal certain things, I ain't really tripping on the power dynamic and shit like that. Like that doesn't make me any less of a dominant just to receive an aftercare from a submissive. That's me. I'm an excellent receiver, right? So if you want to give me some aftercare and rub my hands and massage my hands or do something that's going to help ease me and I can come back down, shit, I'm with it. I'm like, yes, sign me up. You know what I mean? Even if we just had a hour and a half, a 2 hour session, right? And they've got to the point where they feel that they're back, right? And then I'm like, well, you know, then there's something that we negotiated. I'm like, okay, are you straight? You good? And if they're not in the position to give that, then I'm like, well, listen, it's not. I don't think you feel that you're in a position. Let's continue to work on you right now and bring you back. And they're like, well, what about you? I'm like, well, listen, I get it, but right now the concentration is on you, right?
Right.
Because once again, I like to stay within my if we have an hour session, it ain't gonna be an hour. It ain't gonna be an hour and 20 minutes of aftercare.
Right.
Okay.
So I also wanted to talk to you about pushing pain thresholds, the pros and cons. If you can tell us about one of the sessions that you've had where it was a pain pushing, like a pain, you're helping the person explore their pain threshold, but what started out as a positive became a negative for whatever reason. And then I'll ask you another question about that after.
Well, okay. So I haven't had any. No, because I'm okay. So here's the thing. I'm very observant on how the submissives or the bottoms. I'm very observant on how their body's reacting, right? When we take the level of pain up, right? So what I ask them is I keep them at the level I'm like, is this just right or too much? And I keep them there, right? I keep them at that pain threshold. And I say, listen, on 3, we're gonna go a little bit, a little bit deeper. And I'm like, okay. And they like, yes, Daddy Heff. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3. And then I increase it, whether it's the grip, whether it's a bite, whether it's, you know, anything that I'm using, you know, or a pinch, anything I'm using. I don't go in a hard body, but I just take it up just apply a little bit more pressure, and I can tell. I'm like, all right, okay. And then if it gets too much, then they'll say they safe word or they'll do the hand signal, right? And then once they do the safe word, I calm down, I'll immediately stop, and I ask them, I say, listen, let me know when you're ready to continue. And then what I will do is I will, if they tell me they're ready to continue, then I will take them back to the place we were before we counted to the 3, right? Start there, and then I'll apply a little bit more pressure to the point they were at the 3, because by then they're already used to it. And I hold it sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes a minute to keep them there. I'm like, ride the wave, ride the wave. I'm like, okay, are you ready to go deeper? And they say, yes, Daddy Heff, or no, Daddy Heff, stay right there. I'm like, okay. But if they say, yes, I want to go a little deeper, then I'm going to take them deeper.
Oh. So I know for some people, and I'll ask you to explain it further, but I know for some people doing sessions where they are pushing their pain threshold translates differently into the rest of their life and in a professional capacity, in an intimate relationship. Can you talk a little bit about how doing pain play or pushing someone's threshold or helping them to get to a certain point can translate into helping them in their day-to-day life?
Well, basically, by pushing by pushing the pain threshold, doing pain play, this is, you know, this is providing them a level of hormonal release that that they need to really like get, you know, it's like you getting over a little hump, right? It's like, damn, I really needed that. You know, I know I got some bruising, and I know I got some bites, you know, some teeth marks in me, but I really needed that to let the shit go, right? And what happens is when they leave in their regular life, they'll be more relaxed. They'll be more relaxed, right? They'll be able to tolerate shit a little bit more just because they know they had that pain fix activated.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a time where the session has had the opposite effect of what it was intended to? Someone said my breasts are distracting. Just pay attention to the conversation. Lord. Has there ever been a time where okay, let me ask a different question. Has there ever been a time where you sessioned with someone where they became attached because of what it was that you provided for them? Like they became attached on a more emotional level than a professional level based on what it was that you were providing for them versus someone else in their life? Does that question make sense?
Yeah,
Hopefully
it
that makes
does.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it can happen. Yeah, I mean, it's happened a couple times.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, it's just like anything else. You know what I mean? Like you know, if you get some extra service by the person at the ice cream shop, they give you some extra. You could be like, oh man, you know, this feels real good. I'm getting extra stuff from this person, or they're giving me what I'm, you know, they're providing something that I'm missing, right? And they're like, oh man, wow, okay, I'm gonna keep coming around a little bit more. And that's and sometimes it gets that way, but that's a discussion that has to be had. And I'm very vocal about communication. Like, yo, listen, if you feel a certain way, just let me know and we'll talk it through. Like, I'm gonna let you know if I'm there to receive it or not. Like, I get it, but we're gonna keep it at this level. I'm just letting you know. We're keeping it at the DS, the Dom paid submissive level. Okay, we're not crossing no boundaries at all. None.
We have a question from Dr. Ink Wright.
Mm-hmm.
King Heffs, have you had a sub who assumed they could take more pain and you knew you had to stop? Oh, that's a good question.
You know what? Yes, I have. I have. But like I said, I'm very observant. Um, excuse me. I'm very observant of their body language because a lot of times you I see submissives and they feel they like, you know what, I'm a I'm a big girl. I got my big girl panties on. Pervert, you know, and
Right.
I'm gonna take it. He ain't gonna break me. Like, no, I don't listen, that's the wrong thing. Or you have some submissives who like, I don't want to use my safe word. I want you to know, don't do that shit at all. If that's what you want to do, you can leave. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm not here for you to get off on your perverse,
Yes.
thing of oh man, I ain't gonna say my safe word because no, because then someone will get hurt, and then I'm not into that. Mm-mm, at all. But yes, it can happen. It's because the thing is that you have someone who is literally they're giving you the keys to the car. They're giving you the keys to the house. They're trusting you, right? They're trusting you on the level that they don't have that established trust in their lives, right?
Right.
With anyone else. So when they give you that level of trust, like there's a certain emotional connection that happens when someone gives you their trust, right?
Right.
Forget the submission and the surrender, their trust. But they give you their
Right.
trust because most people can realistically say there's a point in their times of life, even right now, some people can say they don't trust people, right? They don't trust people. And that all has to do with self. That a lot of people, the majority of people don't really trust themselves. So
You
when
said they
you're
don't
not,
trust themselves?
yeah, like, but
Explain.
that's a real thing. Like a lot of people, a lot of us, we don't really like we second guess our decisions, all that
Right.
shit. Like a lot of us really have issues. Trust issues a lot come from self. It starts with self first. If you trust yourself more, right, then it's easy to attract people who are trusting.
Right.
You feel me? So if you don't trust yourself, then you're going to attract people who can't be trusted or who you can't trust. So BDSM, any kind of play, it's all about trust first. If they don't trust you, trust that you can be protected, trust that you feel that you can be safe, then it's not going to be a it's not going to have that like it's not going to have that level of connectivity
Right.
that needs to happen in order for it to progress successfully, right? It's always going to be like I can't fully let go because I don't know if I really trust this person is going to not injure me or not make me pass out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're in a session or before a session, is it pre-agreed upon what the manner of discipline is going to be? And does that ever change within the session where you introduce something new?
Mm-mm. Okay, so check it. So within the negotiation part is very, very important in this whole thing, right? I'm about to go in my house, so yeah, excuse me. So the negotiation part that's the most important part. So like I said earlier, I don't do any kind of edits or ads through this thing. Like say for some reason if we negotiated paddles, canes, and knife play, okay? All right. But we did not negotiate biting. I'm not going
Right.
in the middle, let me bite you. No, we didn't talk about that. If that wasn't negotiated ahead of time, it's not happening. Right? Because that's how, when someone is in that state of surrender, right? They're there but not fully there. So anything can happen. And after the fact, they'll be like, oh shit, damn, this happened. I didn't get a consent for that to happen. Right? Because everything is about consent. Like this consent is very, very key. If you don't get consent to do it, then you can't do it. And if you do it, you're violating their consent and their boundaries. Right? So if anytime you do that, stop the session immediately. This time to go. Because if they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect your consent, then what the fuck?
Can they ask for something additional in the session that wasn't pre-approved?
No. Well, they could, but it's up to the dom to honor that or not, right? Like, if I give you for example, so they're like, oh my God, I want to add something extra. What do you want to add? I want to add some sexual. Oh no, we didn't talk about that, so you can't add that. I know you want to, but or they're like, could you put your finger in my butt? No, we didn't. No, that's not something that we're gonna add. Right? Not this time. Next time you can negotiate fingers in your butt. All right.
But the session is the session. Like they can't deviate from that because they're feeling some type of way.
That's right. That's right. When you put in your order, yo, that motherfucker is it's there. It's there.
Right. The flavor of the cake is the flavor of the cake that you ordered. Yeah. You can't change it midway because it's already baking.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so Golden Guava Goddess submitted a question. She said, subs aim to please. What methods do you use to self-police and not abuse that desire to please?
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Repeat that question again. You were sort of breaking up. What'd you say?
Hold on 1 second. So the question is, subs aim to please. What methods do you use to self-police and not abuse, or what methods should a sub use to self-police and not abuse their desire to please?
I say just be vocal up front about what it is that, what it is you're looking to do to please the dominant, right? Just like don't halfway ask. Don't halfway, like, don't give vague answers. Like, tell the dom what it is you want to do to please them, okay? And it's up to the dom to be able to be like, yeah, I'm cool with that, or no, thank you so much, I'm flattered by that, but no, I'm not really here for that, right? But be vocal. Like, be vocal. Don't own your yeses, own your nos. Don't be afraid to just be vocal. Like a lot of doms really appreciate when you are, when you talk. Like, let me
Are you
know.
buzzing in?
Yeah. Sorry. So.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. We have another question from Mr. Dr. Wright. I've seen BDSM documentaries where the alpha man takes on the submissive role. How common is that?
Oh, that's shit. That's really common because, all right. So whether you have an alpha male or alpha female, so let me cut my light on in my office. Hold on.
Thank you. So they continue.
All right. Yeah. So here's the thing. A lot of times, whether it's alpha male, people who have an A personality, right? They're always in control all the time. They're running shit, whether it's in their business, whether it's in their home life, with their kids, or their family. And the reason why they are seeking the kind of therapy that comes through BDSM is because they're tired, they want someone else to take control, right? Um, like give you for example, like FinDoms, right?
Mhm.
So you have a, a a person who identifies as a woman who is a financial dominant, right? And you have whether it's man or woman who is there, and they want someone to dominate them financially, right? They want someone
Yeah.
in charge of their bank account, right? That's what they want. And it's you know it is very common for alpha men or men of power to be in a submissive role. Very easy, very very.
And you're saying that that's because in their day-to-day life, they're always in a position of power, and because it becomes tiring. Like it becomes
Yeah,
tiring,
yeah,
it becomes emotionally and
yep.
mentally exhausting, and
Hmm.
sometimes you go into overload where you just don't want to be responsible for anything.
Yep,
You just
yep.
want someone to take charge and tell you what to
What to
do,
do?
and
Yep,
you know,
yep.
talk to you the way that you talk to your subordinates or
That's
your
right.
submissive.
That's right. That's right. And that's where a lot of stuff like humiliation, cock and ball
Mhm.
torture, especially trampling, shit like that.
You said cock and ball torture.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I know what that is. I'm going to ask you to
Hmm.
explain further because I watched. I'll tell you about the video after once you've explained it to everyone because I think it's better hearing it from you. What
Hmm.
exactly is cock and ball torture?
Well, I mean, hold on real quick. It's,
Excuse me.
it's like it sounds. It's cock and ball torture. So you have the cock, you know, you have the cock that gets tormented, whether it gets twisted, right? Whether it gets trampled on, whether it gets bit, right? Or whether it has, whether you put needles in it, anything, you have that part, or you could put sounding in there where someone takes a little metal rod and sticks it inside the urethra, the little hole at the top, and they tap it, and it sends a vibration. So that's and then ball torture is whether the balls are kicked, right? Whether they are squeezed, whether they are stepped on, all yeah. That's mm-mm.
So I recently watched a video and she was taking such delight in doing it. So the gentleman that she was providing the torture to, he stood in front of a table and he basically laid his cock on a wooden block, and she had a wooden mallet.
Ooh.
And she would look at him and she'd rock back and forth and she was smiling, and then she would take out and she would look at him and then she would hit. But it wasn't like you could tell that she was hitting hard enough, but not in such a way where she was like trying to hammer him flat,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like pancake dough or like
Yeah.
pizza dough.
Yeah.
But so in the short video, she used the mallet 4 times back to back, and I think four was his limit because when she said to him one more, he kind of hesitated. Then he said okay, and then he came back to the block, and his hands were cuffed behind his back. So there was nothing that he could do to stop her from doing what she was doing. But I also, from their interaction and the way they engage with one another, I also know that it was consensual. But the joy that he took in and using the mallet on his penis, Lord, I thought to myself, that's something that I would like to do to someone. I don't know who would ever allow me to do that. That's definitely something that I would engage in. I wanted you to talk about biting sessions. I didn't know that biting was part of your repertoire. I know that spanking, squeezing, choking. What is the technique that was developed by King Heffs?
Booty tenderloin activation.
Yes, there you go. Booty tenderloin activation. But I didn't know that biting sessions were part of your repertoire. So can you just talk a little bit about that, please? Like, I have a biting fetish. I like to bite and I like to be bitten. And sometimes trying to instruct someone on how to bite me properly or to find that spot or how much pressure to apply and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to. So if you can just talk to us a little bit about biting sessions as part of pushing pain threshold.
Yeah. So, first of all, it has to be something that you into. Like, you have to have, like I said, a biting type fetish, right? So, if that's something that's negotiated, it's very, biting is very primal. Okay. So it's not like eh, eh, like nibbler and shit. Like,
Right.
nah,
It's not
it's like,
gentle.
no. So, and you have to know where to bite. Like, you don't want to bite everywhere. Like, right, collarbones are really great. Oh my God, collarbones are fucking amazing. Not like, it's like you almost gnawing on the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Collarbones are great, but these are things that you're asking ahead of time. If you like, listen, do I have your consent to bite your collarbone? Yes, Daddy. All right. Do I have your consent to bite you? You know what I mean? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay, great. So, it's different things that you want to grab. Like, you like pieces of skin on the back, right? Like right here, like this part right here, you know, you know, all over, all, different places. But it is something that, and you can tell when you bite, right, how much pressure to use, right? You don't want to tear the skin, but you want to just apply enough pressure, and you can hear them, right? You can hear them, and you just hold it there. You just hold it there, and then you may just, like, slowly graze your teeth when you release, and they're just and they're just moaning and crying. You're like, okay.
So what expression are you listening for when you're because I feel like, okay, biting is very different than booty tenderloin activation spanking. Because biting is more, it's definitely it's definitely closer. So I feel like it's definitely more intimate because you're putting someone's skin in your mouth. What exactly, what are you listening for when you're biting someone to know whether or not you should? Because with a mouthful of flesh, you're not necessarily going to ask every single time, can I apply more pressure? Because in order to do that, you're releasing the pressure from your mouth.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I mean, it's just the inflection of the moan, right? And how they, especially how their body reacts. Like you can tell if you bite someone properly, they'll almost melt. They'll literally almost melt. You're like, oh shit. And when you bite them a little harder, you be like, bite, just apply a little bit more pressure, then they just melt some more. Now, for some reason, but at the same time, you have to pay attention. Like, they're moaning, and then they say they suffer. They be like, you be like, okay, I'll ease off a little bit. Then you provide a little aftercare on there, rub it a little, rub the bite mark a little bit, and you're asking me like, man, do I have your consent to continue? And they say yes. And then you bite in another area, right?
Step by step through this whole process, you're always checking in with them to see whether or not you have consent to what they've already consented to.
Okay, so here's my thing. Like, I'm gonna ask them if I, can I continue, right? Or are you done? Like, may I continue? Do I have your consent to continue? Yes. All right, I'm asking yes because, like, I'm still checking in to make sure it's okay, because I'm not gonna assume that just because I'm biting you, right, and you give me a safe word, that you want to be bitten again.
Right.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask, do I have your consent to continue? And they're gonna say yes. They're gonna say yes, Daddy Heff, or no, Daddy Heff. And I'll say, okay, thank you. If they say no, Daddy Heff, I'll say, okay, thank you so much. And then we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna hop on the next little part. But I love biting. It's fucking delicious. Oh my god, that shit turns me on so much.
Yeah, we have a couple of people in the chat. Dr. Inquiry, he's saying that the conversation is it's exciting, it's stimulating. He likes biting. Biting is the shit. Yeah, I think that, you know, like when I've suggested to people, totally different conversation, but when I've suggested to people that I enjoy biting and I ask if I can bite them, I also ask for consent in case I get overzealous and they get bruised. Like I try to explain to people that you may end up bruised, like depending on how good it feels to the person. Because in that moment, you're like, yes, bite harder. Yes, suck harder. Yes, bite harder. And
Okay.
you're because it feels so good, you're pushing yourself, but you don't realize at the end there may be a bruise or two that is left on your skin, and that's something that you also have to be prepared for.
Yeah. And so that's why in the negotiation part, you talk about especially stuff with biting. You're like, listen, biting, all this. Like, listen, are you? And even with impact play, you want to be like, listen, are you okay with marks? Are you okay with bruising? If they're like, I really don't want to be bruised, or I really don't want no, you know, don't give me no marks on my neck. Great. Where can I give you some marks at? Ask them. Like, you know, not here, then where? Right? Somewhere where they have a cover shirt on, you can't really see. Okay, great, no problem. I'm gonna take pride in keeping it in those areas and not going outside. Because, you know what I mean, I don't want to cause any problems for you. And if I cause problems for you, that's less of an opportunity time where you're going to come back and for your fix again.
For your fix.
Mm-hmm.
I would do a biting session with you. Have you ever been the bitee and not the biter?
Yes. Yes, I like to be bitten.
So because I always have you in the esteem of being a dom, and I know that you said that there are switch opportunities for you, in that role of being the bitee and not the biter, what is that like for you?
I mean, it's just like to get bit, you know what I mean? But you know, it's exhilarating. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's exhilarating.
Do you release the same sort of verbal energy that you're like,
yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Who gonna get bitten to be all quiet? When you get bitten, you ain't gonna be quiet and getting bitten.
Sorry. I'm trying to stay in a relatively professional headspace and talking to you.
Why?
Because I in my mind I'm saying to myself, like, I want to bite you. Like, I want to have a biting session with you.
No,
and bite
really.
you. I know that you don't always allow certain types of interactions, but the two things, the paddling and the biting, if there was ever an opportunity in life, my goodness me.
You would let me paddle you?
Oh, I would absolutely. I'm talking about paddling you though and biting you.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep it in a relatively professional capacity and not strain that part of the brain.
Yeah. Professor K, you see what she's trying to do? You see what she's trying to do?
She said, bite that man. I listen to me. If you ever said one day that you needed a biting session and you wanted these things to be the ones that did the job,
oh, wow.
I would accommodate you. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'm taking note of that.
Just, putting it out there, putting it out into the universe.
But guess what? You ain't paddling me. I'm going to tell you right now.
Why not?
You can bite me.
But I can't paddle you?
Mm-mm.
But you enjoy paddling. Do you not?
What'd I say? Oh, it's so cute and sweet. I appreciate. Oh, I love it. It's great.
Really?
You could bite me though.
Okay. So biting, I could bite.
Okay.
What are your personal top 2 rules for being bitten for yourself. What are 2 things that the person absolutely has to pay attention to when it comes to you? Uh-oh. I don't know if your sound is gone. Can you hear me? We've lost sound. I'm not sure what's happened. Are you
Okay, all
there?
right, I'm back. Okay, my bad. Okay,
Okay.
so tell me that again. Say it again.
Really? I asked you what are your top 2 what are your top 2 do's and don'ts for a biting session for yourself? Like if
No,
we
no, no, no,
agree to a
no,
session,
no, no marks on my neck.
no marks on your neck. Okay,
Yes.
that's the only one.
Yep.
You're frozen.
I don't know why. I'm here.
You don't know what? Oh, sorry. Okay, something you
Mm-hmm.
were frozen. So I don't know if you said something.
Mm-mm. That's it. No
So
marks on my neck. You can't be marking on my neck.
and that's the only restriction.
Well, me, I'm not really big. I'm put it this way. I'm not really big into marks. I don't really like marks on my body like that.
Okay.
I just because I like walking around naked and shit, and and shit like that. So I don't really want, even if I'm not naked and I have on shorts and I have without my shirt or whatever, I want, I might as well be like, oh man, what's that on your back?
Are there
It's
any
not.
parts of your body that are off limits for biting?
Yes.
Okay. What are the parts of your body? I wish my man would let me dominate him in the bedroom. Okay, so let me come off of us for a second. So Marilyn Smith has said that she wished that her man would allow her to dominate him in the bedroom. Can you offer any suggestions to people who want to be more dominant in the bedroom, but they're not exactly sure how to broach the conversation with their lover or with their partner?
Yes. This is what I suggest. I suggest that you talk to your partner about it, right? And then you all do a consultation with me. And then we can do a private training session, right? In which is sort of private, you know what I mean? And which is has me sort of as the mediator to talk about it a little bit. Because a lot of times your partner may be open to that. They just have to be explained to it, what, because most people, they either be this and now you're not gonna put me in cuffs and goddamn stick nothing in my ass. Nobody said I
Right,
was gonna stick something in your ass, okay?
right.
Nobody says that. When people say stuff like that, you be like, do you really want something in your ass? I'm just asking. Because if you really animate about, you be like, deep down inside, you want a little dildo on your ass. I'm just saying. That's
Right.
but
Okay.
but 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 once again, your partner has it has to be a level of trust, right? They have to first of all, they have to know that you know what the fuck you're doing, right? You can't just be like, I want to dominate you and I want to choke you, but you don't know how to properly choke, right? Or you don't know how to properly spank, right? If you want to learn
Right.
how to properly do these things, then you can take one of my classes, my private classes with you and your partner, right? Because that's the thing is, it's like you can see videos, you can watch stuff on YouTube, you can watch stuff in movies, but you need training. Like you
Right.
can't you can't go into a firefight if you don't have proper training on how to shoot a gun, right?
True.
Stop using BDSM as your proverbial first time shooting a gun in a war without training,
Right.
right?
It's
Because
very true.
because there's
I
a
like that
fine line
analogy.
there's a fine line in BDSM of yay and in the hospital or the goddamn
Right.
back of a police car. It's razor thin. Like it ain't no gray area. It ain't no middle part. It's either
True.
this or bad.
Right. Because it can very easily go from, like you said, choking where, it's pleasurable and, you're getting restricting the right amount of air and applying the right amount of pressure to you choke the person and they're not waking up. And next thing you're calling 911
What
and yeah.
happened? Motherfucker dead. Oh damn. We were just doing some. Nope. See, See, that's
So, Azria the Amazon asks, do you think homophobia has an impact on how far some men or women will go?
possibly.
I
But
think,
once
I
once
think he's also referring to like pegging, because there was a conversation in the
oh,
chat a
about
little
pegging.
earlier about
Oh,
pegging. A lot of
well,
men have this preconceived notion that if they get pegged,
okay,
that it somehow makes them gay, or there's somehow
okay.
like a stigmatism
So
attached to that
so so
that
so
pleasurable part of
so,
your body that men don't want to talk about.
so let me say this. That is really a problem that black men have. Okay, other men of other colors and races, they don't have that kind of problems. They're not thinking about that, right? We have this misconception is if you touch my ass, that's some gay shit, right? And there's a lot of women who feel that if a man allows another woman to touch a man's ass, they think that's some gay shit.
Right.
What? You fucking kidding me? That the anus is a pleasure area. It's pleasure receptors all in that motherfucker, whether it's around the rim or
Mm-hmm.
in on the inside, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
beautiful thing about pegging, and I'm gonna say this to all the men, right? Listen, you have a prostate, right? As you get older, your prostate swells, right? You have hormones inside your prostate. You have both estrogen and testosterone that need to get released. That all throughout your life, you've been fucking, you've been coming, you've been ejaculating, and the more you ejaculate, the more it fucks with your damn prostate, right? So you need some prostate massaging, whether it's from the outside, or you need to finger your booty every now and then to tickle your prostate, or you may never know that you may be into getting pegged. But just because you're into getting pegged, it doesn't make you any less of a man, right?
Right.
At all. Basically, you could call it pegging for your health, right? Because
I like that.
yeah,
I
but
like
because with the prostate, if the prostate is getting stimulated, it's getting stimulated now. It's deflating. It's like, right, right.
this.
It's deflating, right? You know. Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
so J
Jay Butt,
Baptiste, have I been pegged? I don't know. Put it this way. I'll leave it to your imagination. That's
but he
that's the
also
question.
asked, is pegging with a tongue or with an object?
Oh no, you don't peg with no tongue. You peg with a damn dildo. That's what a peg is. Peg.
Or a butt plug, or
Or butt plug. What
right.
in anything, a tongue is not a peg. Okay? All right. Uh Anal toys, glass, silicone, whatever. Metal, you know what I mean? Lipstick Laundry Podcast. See, there you go making gross assumptions. You don't know that. But whatever you think. You know what I mean? Whatever you
So
think.
for the gentlemen out there who may be
Mm-hmm,
uncomfortable with the idea of being pegged because they think that it's gay or whatever it is that
mm-hmm,
they attach to it, one of the ways that you can ease yourself into the pleasure without getting so much into your mind is letting your woman, if you're heteronormative, letting your woman lick your asshole, letting her put her pinky, like start with something small, putting her pinky in your asshole, um, giving you like a rim job, even if it's just like, she's sucking on your dick and massaging your balls, if she works her way down to massaging your asshole while she's sucking on your dick, like it can be a combination of things and a combination of sensations so that it doesn't feel as strange as being bent over and having something stuck in your
all
ass.
right,
If
let me
that's
say
what you're
this.
worried about.
Let me say this. Jay Baptiste, you're being very aggressive, sir, with your motherfucking comments. All right? Why you gonna be
Oh,
in all caps, sir? What the fuck is wrong with you?
how are you being honest about biting but not about being pegged? Yeah. Jay
Jay,
Baptiste, it's all love and family here. We're all grown folks. There's no reason for you to be in caps and to be hostile and aggressive.
what's wrong with
King
you,
Heffs
sir?
has been gracious enough to be here with us to, share his experiences, share his knowledge. So you need to be respectful of that. And if you can't, you can either politely exit the conversation or we can exit you from the conversation. But we're not here to be hostile towards anybody.
Yeah.
Of
So
course,
here's the question I have with Jay Baptiste. So she's
okay,
so
wait, hold
worried
on.
about.
It's gonna time me out, so we have to come
Yeah.
back.
Oh yeah. Okay. Great. I'm not gonna
Okay.
go into him. Yeah.
Don't go
Yes.
anywhere.
Yes.
I don't even know how to get out of this damn thing. Oh, there we go. I think I'm just gonna let the time run out. I'll shake my boots in the meantime. Give it a little jiggle. In 5,